everybody. This is Dr. Kevin Connors again, where we're going to interview a great person today. Liese Genone works at Designs for Health, where we get our product, several of our products that we private label, and one is a product called Curcu-Clear. So, Liese, when you and I were talking about what is a good topic to talk about, you suggested that that's one of our biggest sellers, and it's because we believe so highly in it. When we are dealing with chronic inflammation, which is so common with anybody with a disease process, curcumin is one of the things that you think of. And when you talk about research data on natural cancer killers, there's probably not anything as research as curcumin. So let's talk about this product and your expertise in it. So why is the Curcu-Clear product the best on the market right now?
Well, basically, we are delivering curcumin in the highest absorbable form, and that's really what makes it unique. It goes through a special process called an eval process that is proprietary to us. And basically what that process is doing is it's wrapping the curcumin molecule, which is hard to absorb. We're wrapping it in a fat. And that fat helps shuttle the curcumin across major gut obstacles and blood-brain obstacles.
So I remember back in the day before this product existed, we used to use a powder turmeric that was wrapped in a coconut oil.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't a lot of research data on that product. It just seemed like it was the best thing that we had at the time. And prior to that, we used to have people take turmeric with coconut oil. And so, of course, it wasn't wrapped in that fat. You just had fat in the gut at the same time as you had the turmeric, which wasn't the best way to do it because, it doesn't necessarily helping the turmeric get across the gut barrier. And that's the key to most supplements. I mean, you can take a lot of different things and they can just end up in the toilet. If you don't absorb them, they don't do you any good.
As you said in the beginning, it's one of the most well-researched compounds out there. And really, when you get down to the base of it, it's got two different actions, which is why it's so effective in the body. One is that it's one of the strongest antioxidants out there. And then second, it works on two anti-inflammatory pathways in the body. And that is, especially that second part, is what makes it pretty unique out there, because a lot of your more common substances that you can get your hands on are only going to work on one of those pathways. So if you're talking about its antioxidant properties, the reason why you would be concerned with that is because there's a lot of things in your life that are going to cause oxidative stress, not getting enough or the right kinds of sleep. If you're a smoker, if you're under chronic stress, if you've got an injury, all of these things are going to cause oxidative stress. And then chronic oxidative stress ongoing is going to cause oxidative damage. And that's been recognized to be one of the main factors underlying in lots of diseases out there. So
Yeah.
That's why you'd want to be concerned with getting antioxidants.
So as for our listeners out there that may not understand, they hear, oh, I should be taking antioxidants. Well, what is oxidative stress in the first place? When we talk about cancer, oxidative stress is a major cause of cell damage, DNA damage, and then a cell going into rapid replication, which is cancer. And you can name, like you said, most diseases, well, all degenerative diseases out there have a factor of oxidative stress. So getting antioxidants is important. And the source of oxidative stress is endless. We live in just a poisoned world, right?
Right.
So as its antioxidant factor, that's probably one of the most researched pieces of curcumin, is so beneficial. I'm sorry, so go on with that then.
Oh, no, I was just going to add one last piece is that, in the modern diet, we're just not getting high antioxidant foods in our diet on a regular basis to help kind of combat that overload. So, that's where curcumin supplementation comes into play.
Yeah, our foods are pretty stripped of nutrients, aren't they?
Right. The second action of it is working on those two anti-inflammatory pathways. So while it's doing all these wonderful things, helping to sort of downregulate all the oxidative stress going on in your body, it's working on those two pathways, and it's helping to decrease something called NF kappa beta, which is basically sort of like the mother of an inflammatory response that can go awry in a lot of chronic diseases.
Yeah. So nuclear factor kappa beta is the key inflammatory response that can be overexpressed in a lot of diseases, right?
Mm-hmm.
And certainly with cancer patients as well as Lyme patients and any inflammatory process that's going on. And curcumin has been shown time and again in research studies that it calms that NF kappa beta expression down. And that's a key component for decreasing that inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk a lot about nothing is all good or all bad. Like inflammation has a purpose too. It's not that we don't want any inflammation. We just don't want chronic
Right.
overexpressed inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing about curcumin is it won't shut off that acute necessary inflammation in case of like an injury or
Mm-hmm.
or an infection where you need a ramped up immune system. It doesn't shut that
Mm-hmm.
piece down. It shuts down that NF kappa beta chronic inflammation down. And that's
Right.
so key. We talk about that with our cancer patients a lot. We want a ramped up acute inflammation response and like
Mm-hmm.
fighting an infection, fighting a disease, fighting cancer. But we don't want that chronic inflammation that blocks the immune cell's ability to even get to a cancer or a bacteria or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
curcumin is just a great way to control both of those things. So
Yeah, helps support a healthy inflammatory response, right?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything else you have to say about the
Yeah, I mean,
tetrahydrocurcuminoid that you're so fond of?
yeah, I would say I love this formula because it sort of mimics the way that it's found in nature. So we're wrapping it in a fat, we're shuttling it across these barriers, and then we're also pairing it with turmeric oil. And that is how curcumin is found in nature. It's found within the turmeric root, along with all those phytochemicals found in the oil. And the awesome thing about those phytochemicals is that they have also been researched and shown to help enhance absorption. So it's just a really nice synergistic and very effective formula.
Yeah, I love it. I take it myself, and I know a lot of our patients take it. It even for a person who doesn't have any serious disease, taking one a day can be real beneficial. A person who has a serious disease, taking two or three or even more,
Mhm.
because each pill has really equivalent of almost a gram of curcumin
It does.
benefits to it. So it's a great way that you don't have to take as many pills as some of them are out there because of the absorption factor.
Exactly. Yeah. And everyone gets on pill fatigue. So,
Yes, that's for sure.
yeah, less is good if you can get there.
Well, thanks so much for being on with us today. I'm going to have you back again if you are so willing to talk about some other products that we love so much that your company makes.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your expertise. And you can find Curcu-Clear as well as our other products on our store. We'll put links up on this page as well. Thank you again, Liese. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dr. Connors.
Bye-bye.